Right, Bridgestone BT31 tyres. I fitted them in the spring. They've done about 2,800 miles, and so far so good. It's not really a review, it's just an interim really, simply because I don't think it's any worth reviewing tyres until they're near dead. They all feel marvellous when they're new, but the reason I put this on now is their first real foray in really wet weather, and I've really good feel back from this particular bike. The Avons I had no problem with Avons, again didn't have any problem with feel or anything, but these inspired a little bit of confidence, perhaps because I was just trying to see how good they were. In real wet weather, never gave an inch. Obviously it's got no traction control on the Triumph, and a couple of times accelerated quite hard in the wet, nothing, no budges. I tried a few hard stops, again nothing even on the back, which would be more prone, I'd have thought, to go. A couple of good stabs on the back in obviously a straight line. In the wet, no problem at all. So far so good. The real test will be when they are nearing the end of their life. I fear all Bridgestones I've had from the past, they really do shoulder up. By shoulder up I mean square off, and the front especially, you lose the side. So you end up with a profile that's like that, and that makes it a dire thing to steer. This bike in particular is nasty when it gets like that. It's not very good on the front. Tends to tramline a little bit, which is a feature of the bike. You just sort of get used to it. It doesn't particularly bother me. Once or twice it's done something nasty on the tramline, that's sort of ooh, you know, but it's never caused me an issue that I couldn't basically deal with. So we'll see how they go. Price was reasonable. They were recommended. As I say, I'm pretty much an Avon man normally. Storm ST I think I had before. The only reason I changed them, I think before we went to France, was they were near. Yeah, relatively speaking, I probably could have gone, but yeah, it was like, yeah, I'm going away, let's not chance it. So these have done about 2,800 miles so far. The front has slightly got a feel to it. There's a slight shoulder, but it might be my imagination. The back has got a slight squaring. Tyres these days don't seem to last. They're sort of, used to be accepted, didn't it? Sort of 10,000 mile tyres were the norm, but obviously these new tyres are softer, employ more silicates I think, so hopefully we'll get some reasonable mileage out of them. I'm not too fussed on them, you know, they get a bit absurd. The first set on this one were Bridgestones, a very old carcass, and before 4,000 miles they really were not pleasant. Mostly the front and the back squared off, but then OE tyres, not something you really judge. They're all old stock and, you know, bought at, I say bargain price, but obviously they buy them at a reasonable price. So as I say, these are the BT31s. My experience with Bridgestones has not been good, as I say, so I'm quite interested to see how they get on. The 32 now is out, and if these prove to be as good as they feel so far, then maybe I'll have another set, but failing that it'll be Michelin's or Avons again, but we'll see how they go. That's it, we'll update obviously as the mileage goes on.